In December 2023, a Chinese little pink deliberately smeared his mucus on the door plate of the Taiwan embassy in the Vatican. He asked his classmates to take a video and then he uploaded it to the internet to show off. An overseas netizen commented, "Many Chinese people do not feel ashamed of doing bad things. This is the result of decades of poisonous indoctrination by the CCP, which has distorted the personalities and humanity of these people." The phenomenon of little pinks is popular among young Chinese. They love the CCP and have a strong sense of superiority, of course because they grew up under the CCP's education and propaganda. However, they often run into obstacles in actual society and even lose their lives. Today, we will talk about China's little pinks. But before we do, we would like to encourage you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and helps us create more engaging content. Now, moving on. On October 23rd, many CCP media broadcast this video. A little pink claimed that the military in Iraq stopped Brothers, Wolf Warriors is indeed too conservative in filming. We Chinese can walk sideways in the Middle East, which is super safe. We are still 300 kilometers away from Syria. The police said that it's too dangerous here and there are many terrorist attacks. Then they insisted on escorting me to a safe city. I asked, "Why do you want to help me?" He said it was just because I had a Chinese passport. They trusted me so much that they placed the AK rifle next to me. Brothers, the Iraqi military is so awesome, and our CCP party mother is too powerful. However, this little pink just left Iraq, entered pro-CCP Syria, and then disappeared. A few days later, he posted a video again about his experience. Syrian officials held 5 of us in their prison for more than 100 hours. I don't want to stay in this country for even a moment. We were not given any food for 5 days, only a piece of bread, and we could drink only tap water. Netizens commented, "It's so funny that the Chinese media is so slapped in the face. I love reading the bound version." Some netizens doubted what the little pink said about the Iraqi army escorting them for 300 kilometers and left a message saying, "Iraq may escort them, but escorting them out of the country to prevent these people from causing problems on Iraqi soil and causing disputes." After Saddam Hussein's regime in Iraq was overthrown by US troops, the country established a pro-American democratic system. The current Syrian regime is pro-CCP and is amid dictatorship and war. The little pink, imprisoned for 5 days, was not the worst. Let's take a look at the story of this Chinese female pink. This female internet celebrity is called Han Fezhe. She has more than 200,000 fans on a short video platform in China. From the videos she posts, we can see that she lives a luxurious life. She often posts photos of luxury hotels, high-end restaurants, private swimming pools, etc. In October 2023, she posted a video and a lengthy article online complaining that she was treated unfairly in Singapore. She said she hired a driver, but the driver's skills were not good enough and her foot was crushed. She claimed US $3,750 from the driver. The driver felt the compensation was too much, so he took her to Singapore General Hospital for medical treatment. After waiting for 3 hours in the hospital's emergency room, she thought the nurse was deliberately neglecting her. In fact, Singapore's emergency rooms arrange treatment according to the priority of the patient's condition, prioritizing patients with life-threatening serious illnesses. She quarreled with the female nurse and used foul language to swear at her. It's illegal to abuse healthcare workers in Singapore. The nurse called the police, who soon arrived. When the female investigator questioned her, she started to play dumb. The investigator asked her, "Did you swear at the nurse?" She said, "Go ask the nurse. If she thinks so, then so. What does it have to do with you?" She also said, "Call all the police in Singapore." Miss Han uploaded the relevant video to Douyin, thinking it was a matter of gaining face for China. Many Chinese netizens disapproved of her behavior, with one commenting, "I looked at her feet carefully and I really wonder if she needs to go to the emergency room." Some netizens thought she would respect local laws. After the police investigation, they discovered that she had been investigated by the police a week ago. She was drunk and cursed a security guard at a local apartment building. The police also discovered that she had lied about being a secretary of a certain company when entering the country. It was later confirmed that she worked as a bartender in many hotels. It turns out that her high-end life was all fake. The judge said Miss Han could be released on bail. However, she could not find anyone willing to release her on bail, and she remained in custody for more than 10 days before the trial. The judge pointed out that she was charged with 6 counts, including 1 count of public nuisance, 2 counts of violating the Prevention of Harassment Act, and 3 counts of violating the Private Security Industry Act. I don't know if she was scared, but she changed her arrogance during the trial and said, "I plead guilty and I apologize." In court, Ms. Han said that she was shouting in the hospital because she had just arrived in Singapore for more than a month and did not know the laws and regulations here. She also felt helpless after the car accident. Ms. Han also cried and said that 3 of her relatives had cancer, one of whom was in severe condition and had reached the late stage. She came to Singapore to earn money to treat her family members. She expressed remorse several times in court. Perhaps because of her good attitude in pleading guilty, the judge gave her a light sentence. She was only sentenced to 40 days in jail and fined $418. At this point, the matter is settled. After serving her sentence, she may face deportation, which means it'll be difficult for her to obtain a visa to enter Singapore in the future. After returning to China, it's foreseeable that her road to becoming an internet celebrity will be full of difficulties. There was also a little pink from Beijing whose experience is hilarious. He went to the local police station to report the so-called Taiwan independence, but was fined $420. What happened? This little pink, whose online name is Patriotic Youth Liu Sitong, is a YouTube blogger. On June 14, 2021, he went to Zhangkai-kou Police Station in Haidian District, Beijing, to report a Taiwanese YouTube channel blogger named Ba Jiang, saying that he was engaged in Taiwan independence, in hope that the Chinese police would arrest him across provinces. After Ba Jiang knew about this, he said he was willing to bet $10,000 with Liu Sitong on whether he would be arrested. If he was still filming the video after 3 days, Liu Sitong would lose $10,000 to him. Otherwise, he would lose. I am Liu Sitong, a patriotic young man. I have done something big today. What is it? I just want to report this Taiwanese independence activist, Ba Jiang, and the evidence is already in my hands. If nothing else happens, he will at least not be able to enter our mainland, the People's Republic of China. He will be arrested as soon as he enters the country. If he continues to be arrogant, he is likely to be arrested across provinces by our national security, so this matter is significant. Report. Who are you reporting to? Report on Taiwan's independence element. Are you recording? Yes. No video recording allowed. Okay, I won't record it. I accidentally watched it while browsing a music video on the internet. After watching it, I became very angry and wanted to report it. He deliberately choked us mainlanders and said that if you reported it, you would be arrested. Through what channel did you see the video? Through the internet. What network? YouTube. How did you get on YouTube? A network accelerator allows you to browse some music, YouTube programs, for example. Breach the Great Firewall of China is illegal. Did you know? Liu Sitong still refused to give up and tried to persuade the police at the police station to take countermeasures against Ba Jiang. Unexpectedly, the police severely punished him. Afterward, Liu Sitong received a call from the police who believed he was suspected of illegally breaching the Great Firewall of China, so he was fined $420. He was fined $420 for illegally breaching the Great Firewall of China. This made him very sad. He got angry at Bao Jiang and said, "You pay me for it. I'm not done with you." But Bao Jiang thinks $420 is nothing compared to the two people's $10,000 bet. He said he could deduct $420 from the $10,000 and smiled. Chinese people have completely lifted out of poverty. $420 is nothing to you. Many netizens burst out laughing after seeing the video, and one person left a message saying, "If this incident can make him wake up and see the CCP clearly, it wouldn't be a bad thing." The CCP incites public opinion and supports Russia. Many little pigs are keen to buy Russian products. Many businessmen saw opportunities and made and sold fake Russian food to make huge profits. For example, the so-called camel milk powder imported from Russia is said to be milk produced by camels. There are hundreds of live broadcasters on online platforms in mainland China. One of the Douyin advertisements declared, "Why is Russian camel milk so popular? The calcium and iron content of camel milk are 10 times that of cow's milk, and the vitamin content is 3 times that of cow's milk. It's also known as the Desert Platinum camel milk. It's the closest substitute to breast milk." The so-called camel milk powder imported from Russia is selling well in mainland China. However, many Russian live broadcasters in China couldn't stand it and made videos one after another to fight counterfeiting. As a Russian, many Chinese people who come into my live broadcast room ask me, "Do you have camel milk powder here?" Every time I live broadcast, I explain this to everyone. There are very few camels in Russia. Those who have camels are domestically raised. There are only a few hundred in total in Russia. Is it possible to produce camel milk powder? That's impossible. I'm so angry, and I'm getting so angry every day. Look at this. How can it be written like this? This word means milk, and there is one letter missing. Do you know how to read it? Every word is wrong. Your merchants are very fake and have spelling errors. Look at the words moose milk powder written on it. Isn't this nonsense? What's painted on it? Camel. The camel looks just like a natural camel, but its content is all chemicals and additives, which makes me feel embarrassed. We Russians do not lie to the Chinese, and Chinese friends must not lie to our people. Families, please don't be fooled. In addition to the so-called camel milk powder imported from Russia, there are also Russian beef tendons and other strange Russian imported foods. The Russians constantly remind everyone not to be fooled. Let me remind you that we Russians don't eat beef tendon or drink camel milk powder. Many Russian meat products are not allowed to be exported at all, so friends who like to buy Russian food, please be careful. I have never heard of many products sold in the live broadcast room. Do you believe it or not? These are all made by Chinese merchants who registered brands in Russia and then produce them in the Northeast, so the taste is not authentic. There are also Russian flavors and pure Russian imports, which are entirely different. Please pay attention to distinguishing between them. The most important point is that Russia's light industry is far less developed than China's, so exporting a large amount of food to China is impossible. The procedures for imported food are very complicated, and with taxes and shipping charges included, it can't be cheap, so please be careful. Buying fake products to support Russia is nothing. There are also little pinks who went to Russia to join the mercenary army to help Russia. It's reported on the internet that a Russian mercenary named Xiao Shang posted a video shouting that the Chinese should never come here. What experiences did they experience on the Russian-Ukrainian battlefield? Da Mao, this is the Russian army. They don't treat us as human beings. We are treated as no different from death squads. They asked us to seize the trenches, but they did not send any reinforcements after we had done so. We suffered heavy casualties. Of the dozens of people, only 6 or 7 were left intact. Many of our warriors were killed in the trenches. I was hit by 7 drone bombs and survived. You must not come here. The old Zhao with me was killed in battle, and he did not even close his eyes. Netizens left messages one after another with one person writing, "People have to pay the price for their knowledge as a normal person who would work as a thug for the invaders." To put it another way and say that as a mercenary when people pay you, isn't it just buying your life? Lao Zhao, who Xiao Chang refers to as Zhao Rei, is a man from Chongqing. He was killed by a Ukrainian drone in Donbass on November 29th last year. becoming the first Chinese soldier killed in action whose identity was made public. Zhao Rui is 38 years old and unmarried. His parents are retired. He posted on his Douyin account to share his experiences in Russia and on the battlefield, but he never thought that his life would end on the battlefield. Zhao Rui signed a contract with the Russian army for a monthly salary of $2,700. Although he died on the Russian-Ukrainian battlefield, his family did not receive a pension because he was a temporary warrior for the Russian army. It's speculated that he was very excited and proud when he first became a mercenary warrior, just like the following mercenary named Sun. Everyone, listen to my command. Hello, comrades. Hello, comrades. Comrades, thank you for your hard work. Good job, comrades. Use me in the first war. You will win if you use me. Use me to win, okay? Departure, the large troops began to set off. Sun discovered that everything was not as beautiful as he imagined. According to online sources, the news of Zhao Rui's death frightened the soldier Sun. He soon changed his mind and wanted to escape back to China. Hello everyone, I am on the road now. The war did not hit me down, but the illness knocked me down. I had a bad cold, my throat was completely ulcerated, my joints were in pain, and I didn't have any medical conditions here. The doctor only prescribed the simplest medicine, performed an electrocardiogram, and said there was nothing wrong with me. I am retiring due to health reasons. I walked for nearly 40 minutes. It was snowing heavily, and I got a signal to send this message to everyone. I contacted the leader of the Chinese embassy in Russia, and he said it was personal behavior and he had nothing to do with it. I am now asking the majority of netizens and Chinese friends to help me contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China. I now need to terminate the contract and return to China to recuperate. My heart disease is severe and I can hardly take care of myself. There are no medical conditions here. I will die here. It's very uncomfortable. This situation has been going on for a week. Please help me contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China. Thank you, everyone. I want to return to China. I wish to terminate the contract. There is no medical condition or any medical equipment here. I am going to die here. News on the Chinese internet shows that Sun Ruiqi returned to China in March this year. He said the war was terrible. He saw that many little pinks still wanted to go to war, and he used his own experience to persuade 6 of them to quit. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.